Welcome to the Flig video series. My name is Ryan Gack. We're sitting down here with Bassel Almadani of Bassel. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about your life, your experiences as a musician, and all of that. So can you tell me where you're from? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Northeast Ohio.
Okay.
So between Akron and Cleveland.
Right on.
And first generation Syrian American. So my parents were born and raised in Syria.
Very cool.
So kind of lived in both worlds a bit.
Yeah. You still have family in Syria?
Yeah. About half of my extended family is in Syria, like around Aleppo, and the other half is everywhere.
Right on. Are your folks still in Ohio?
Yeah. My parents are still out there. My brother, and then I have another brother that's here in Chicago as well.
Okay, that makes sense because I saw recently one of the events that you're doing on Facebook, and it was in Ohio, and I was wondering why that particular event was taking place in Ohio. I think it was what is the one that you have coming up? It's in Akron?
We have one in Cleveland on the 20th, and then New York the 21st.
The one in Cleveland. Right. No, I saw it. You have a pretty lengthy tour coming up. What's that like putting such a huge tour together? Is that like it's gonna be a lot of work to do that all yourself?
Yeah. So I mean, this one's a shorter run. We'll do like 4 shows, but then a lot of times we'll do either it's extended weekend runs, or we'll go generally up to about 10, 11 day stretches.
Okay.
And we'll do 2 or 3 of those at least a year. It's been picking up more and more.
Yeah.
So we'll have one like in October that we're doing in partnership with the Syrian American Medical Society.
Very cool.
We'll do 10 shows in October straight. So yeah, I guess it's always intense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's I guess what I usually do is I like set up a tour based off of 1 or 2 key like anchor gigs.
Okay.
Especially what I do on the humanitarian side, the advocacy side related to the refugee crisis in Syria. I'll collaborate with like a college or a church or a cultural organization, like different types of organizations on strategic events. And those tend to be contracted events that I'm looking kind of far in advance.
Okay. And
then I will build club dates around that, or see what festivals and stuff are going on, and book around that. So it really just depends. Like a lot of times, the length of the tour is like we'll get 2 strategic gigs in, Wichita, Kansas, and then Dallas.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I'll map a tour based off of that, carve out about 10 days, and then come back to Chicago.
That's amazing. It's got to take a lot of your time, no? I mean, it's a lot of back and forth communication and.
Oh yeah. It's intense, especially because it's like they're not traditional venues, so it's not like, hey, I want to book this date. It's I'm looking to create an event out of thin air on a specific date, and here's why you should, be involved with this.
Right.
Why we should collaborate and selling them on something deeper, on the strategic level of us all collaborating to make a positive impact on the world.
Yes.
It's just it's an intense exercise, but I feel like because I am spearheading that, that it allows me to create a personality around what we're doing, more so than if it was just some like blank cookie cutter email going out from an agent, then it's not going to have that same flavor.
Right. How do you find the time to do that? Is music your main professional focus?
No, I mean it's half right now. I do work full time in a corporate environment.
Okay. I'm
going freelance at the end of this month, so for the first time in 7 years,
that's a big step.
Figuring it out.
Yeah.
But it's I need to lean more on music and freelance work that I'm doing in general to sustain myself.
Sure.
Especially in this particular time and what's happening in Syria, what we're doing out there is as relevant as it could be.
Absolutely.
So it's just important for us to get out there and amplify the voice of the Syrian people at a time where it's so unbelievably crucial. And especially, we're playing soul and funk music, and there's not many Syrian people and activating that space.
Right.
to begin with, and then the demographic is so diverse. A lot of people have just never met a Syrian person,
Right.
And so just creating that personality is very key. So it's definitely ultra time consuming, and we're a 7-piece band, so coordinating everybody's schedules is just like an intense exercise.
Yes.
But at the same time, I mean, over time, our content more speaks for itself.
Right.
So less needs to be said up front. And you can just say, here's the links, check it out. Like, you want to see whether it's the press we got or certain content, it's all going to speak for itself. So I've been pushing towards that to save time, and because ultimately it feels more effective.
Right. I want to talk about all of that.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned a lot of things, and I know you just released a full-length album called Elements.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. So you raised over $11,000 for during the pre-order campaign for this, and at least $3,000 of that went to humanitarian aid in Syria. That is amazing. Is this because you have? I mean, I know it's because you have such a personal connection to the country. Like you said, your family is still there. There's a lot going on over there. Was the campaign you put together? I'm sorry. Well, sorry, the question. I have so many questions, but like I'm trying to like narrow it down. Like the album has a strong message. A lot of the songs you write have a strong message that have to do with your personal connection to what's going on in Syria and your family and your feelings about that. Did you know? You knew that going into it, right? When you were writing the album, did you know that you would have this big? Were you planning for this campaign ahead of time, like to help raise money, not just for the album, but for humanitarian aid in Syria?
Well, so yeah, we released an EP in 2013 called Dreamer, and I created a similar incentive because at that time we were still in heart of crisis, and everything, like half of everything. I think we did the same similar strategy where 20% of the campaign went to humanitarian aid, and then 50% of everything above our goal was going to go towards that as well.
Okay.
And people responded to that really well,
Right.
and I knew it was just a really effective way to get people to engage with the music and understand that there's a deeper message. It's not just another band with an album that they can't afford to put out themselves. But both times I did it as a pre-order strategy, unless it's like a straight crowdfunding campaign. So we had already we'd been recording this album. We were working on it for 2 years at that point. By the time the pre-order started, we were booking tours. Like everything was coming together. So it was a pre-order campaign to rally people around this release we invested so much energy into.
Got it.
So yeah, I guess I knew I was definitely expecting to have some type of pre-order, just to help push this project we've been working on for so long.
Yeah.
In I guess in the making of this particular album, so it went that album that I told you about, Dreamer.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we wrote most of that before things got really intense in Syria.
Okay.
So around that time, I was starting to work with more of these colleges and churches and stuff, and get out and talk about Syria.
Right.
But the music and the message itself didn't really connect back to it so directly.
Okay.
It was more just there is love or loss and corporate life or whatever it was. Different personal stories and those emotions exemplified through soul music.
Right.
And the more I was getting out there and talking about this and realizing the need for somebody with a voice in that space and within our genre, I wanted to write music from that environment.
Okay.
So it's it was less about necessarily writing music about Syria, right?
Sure.
The songs are never actually like explicitly about Syria, but more so certain themes or moods that are captured through this story and how they connect to other things. So we have a song, Lost, was the lead single off that in the music video that we did.
Yes.
And it was inspired out of the loss of my cousin in Syria, but on a deeper level, it's about loss in general.
Right.
We lost our bassist also in the last couple of years. A lost several cars. My apartment complex burnt down in a crazy fire. So like that great, like what is the emotion and the colors that bring those experiences together? That frantic heat of loss, and that looking in the same place like over and over again and not finding like it's gotta be there,
Yeah.
like the crazy manic feeling that comes from something like loss and writing around that mood. Because at the end of the day, like I don't know, I didn't want it to be this forced Save Syria music, but
Sure.
music that I was emotionally connected to. Because as a soul musician, you're wearing your heart on your sleeve. You're telling a story every time you're up on stage.
Absolutely.
It doesn't feel genuine. The audience is going to pick up on it right away.
Yes.
So,
So you're trying to create change with your songs. You're trying to get people to identify with certain emotions, and because I think all humans identify with the feeling of loss. Like I said, I think if you can get your audience and your listeners to engage with you on a deeper level, it's only going to make your music better, right?
mm-hmm.
So, so is it tough to put these songs, these feelings, and these words together, and then sing them in front of an audience? Like, what is that like? Because I mean, it's soul music, and I think a lot of your tunes are so upbeat, and soul music in general has a generally upbeat vibe. I mean, is it tough for you to convey those emotions when you're singing? I mean, do you get emotional when you sing in front of an audience? Like, does it, how does that make you feel?
Yeah. I mean, I always strive to find that emotional connection, no matter what the environment is, or how loud people are talking, or quiet they're being. You can hear a little pin drop. I mean, whatever the environment is, always finding an emotional connection to the music, and keeping it fresh too. You're never playing it the same way twice, so that you find something unique and refreshing in it every time you play it. I am grateful for those opportunities on stage, I guess, to talk about it, even though a lot of these are darker stories. Like, they are a reality that my family and I are experiencing. So, these thoughts are always on my mind, and always the subject of a conversation with a family member or a friend.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'm just grateful too that, I guess because the music it's not politicized so much, as these are just personal stories, and helping to achieve a personality behind this issue, and the people that listen to our music, connecting them back to this cause, and allowing it to feel more personal.
Yeah.
So I mean, definitely get emotional on stage. It is difficult because you always have to be very absorbed in what you're doing. You're never just on autopilot.
Right.
But I'm grateful for it, and I love being able to do that.
What is that like when you're singing in front of an audience and people don't seem as attentive, or what is that like if you don't feel like people are really listening to what you're saying, or you can't hear a pin drop?
Yeah, I mean, those environments happen just as much as they don't.
Yeah.
So I think, I guess I'm just learning to have fun in anything that we're doing.
Sure.
I just genuinely enjoy watching my band perform and listening to them and vibing off of their energy.
Your band is awesome.
They're great.
You have some great players now.
They're really fantastic.
Yeah.
Really fantastic.
The Supernaturals.
Yeah.
Where'd you come up with that name?
I guess
It's a very soul band name.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great.
I guess the community of the Supernaturals has existed over time. I mean, there's been friends that have moved away. There's friends that have moved on in some fashion or another. And so one characteristic that has brought everybody together is, you've experienced this, just everybody's involved in so many things and works as this dynamic community that is constantly working to build each other up, to sustain themselves through what they do.
Right.
And no matter what we had going on, whether it was our jobs or teaching or being in a bunch of other bands, whatever you had to do to pay your rent and stay on top of it, that this creative connection brought us together to write and to overcome those challenges for the sake of something beautiful.
Yes.
She's lost. She's part of the world today. Pray bury it underneath the ground. This cycle's ordinary. Oh, we're stumbling, staring down our fate with the wrong impression. They stole